Happy weekend, everyone. Welcome back to Say Matters with Roy. And I want to use this opportunity to welcome everybody, every one of us, to the last day in the month of April. Thank you very much for your support in various forms throughout the month of April. Really appreciate everything. Thank you very much. God bless you. So today we'll be having a continuation of the series we started 2 weeks ago on choosing a life partner. The last time our discussion was on the things you should know as a single planning to get married. And then today we'll be having a continuation which is on the things you should know and discuss with your partner the moment you have fixed the date, the moment you've agreed you're going to walk the journey together as a husband and a wife. And I'm really, really excited for the discussion today. Just the same, we have our guest here with us already. Amazing guest. They've been around for like 3 weeks. And oh my God, I've really, really learned a lot. Even personally, I've learned a lot from the discussion so far. So if you're watching me and you can hear me well, you can see me clearly, don't hesitate to share this video with your friends and any other person you know will benefit greatly from the discussion today. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Ma, for always being there for us to share with us from your wealth of knowledge. Really appreciate it. And if this is your first time of joining us on the conversation today, this is Jinsei Matters with Roy, your favorite YouTube channel where you get to learn, relearn, and unlearn from different aspects of life. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cyan Ma. We welcome you wonderfully well. Thank you so much for joining us on the platform once again today.
Thank you
So
for
before
having
we
us.
continue the discussion, we would like you to introduce yourself once again to us, especially for the sake of people who will be viewing and seeing you for the first time today. Over to
Okay,
you,
thank you
Cyan
so
Ma.
much. Thank you for having us. My name is Fola Bolaji, and I'm a computer engineer, and I reside together with my wife in Marital, New York. My wife is Adibumi G, and we are both here to share with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thanks for the previous times you joined us on the platform, and I look forward to the discussion today. I believe God that is going to be an interesting, an impactful, and an insightful one as well. So without wasting much of our time, we just like to dive in straight into the discussion for today, which is on the things spouses should know, the things singles should know, singles who are planning to get married. They've agreed already. They know, oh, this is the person I'm walking this journey with together, and possibly they've fixed the dates already. Those things they should know, the things they should still discuss, revise, review together before walking down the house together.
So, do you want to start? No. Okay. So, she prefers I start. So, actually, there is no hard and fast rule to the issue of marital relationship, joining, and after joining. The temptation for intending couple is that they focus more on the joining day than what will be happening after the joining. So if a date had been fixed, definitely there will have been plans around the program, around the wedding venue, around the reception, and things like that. But like an advice I also received when we were planning for marriage is also very key. Number one is dress well and appear very good because this day is going to be recorded. There are going to be many photographs. There are many pictures will be the outcome of this event. So you don't want to appear so bad that later in the future it will be as if you can review the day or go back to the day. So you need to work on your dressing. Make sure that you dress well. Make sure you make provision for clothing. I'm not saying that you should go and break the bank because you want to appear good. And also, on the dressing, I would like to say something. It's a common trend this day that there have been a lot of makeup which is not bad in themselves, but which are not bad in themselves, but the reality is there are a lot of overdue that we are seeing this day that you get to the wedding venue and be wondering that hope I've not missed my way because you not even be able to recognize the bride again. Another it will be something entirely that you'll be wondering, is she the one, is she another person or something of that nature. As much as possible, even if you are doing some touch up makeup, make sure that it's moderate. The Bible says let your moderation be known to all men. Philippians chapter 4 verse 5. Let your moderation be known to all men. Be moderate in whatsoever you want to do in terms of dressing. And then the second thing I want to point out that wedding day is about feeding. People have come to celebrate with you. A lot of them have traveled from far and near, and they are going to be hungry. So it's very, very important that you make solid arrangements in terms of feeding, in terms of providing food for as many people as possible. People that you cannot take care of, you don't need to invite them. If you know you want to make provision for 100 people, don't invite 1,000 people. So it's not good to invite people to your wedding ceremony and they go home hungry. Another reality that you have to work on is the fact that husband and wife are going to be busy on that day. They are not going to leave the reception table, the high table, and come down to be attending to people. Have you eaten? Have you drank? And things like that. Make sure you delegate. There should be delegations that will take care of your friends, people that are coming from far, people that are even around. Make sure there are delegations. Make sure there are things that there are people that can easily be visible and people can talk to that I need food, I need this, I need that. So I think those two things are very important. You dressing well and at the same time taking care of people that show love to you by traveling down to come for your ceremony. There are many things that can also happen on the day of wedding. Emotions are very high. There are so many unprepared for situations that will just show up. And if you are not able to handle it well, it may show on your face, it may show on your countenance. And it's not so good that on your wedding date you are hungry, you are throwing attitude, people are greeting you, and your face is just something else. So just be prepared that all of these things will be handled. All of these things will be handled. Sometimes you will see somebody that is supposed to come up with a program that that is not coming on time. Another thing that is very important, especially on wedding date, is before you go to the wedding venue, cross check. Have a checklist. Have I taken this? Have I taken that? There have been situations where at the wedding venue you remember that the Bible that is supposed to be used for the journey is at home, or the ring is at home. And those are very, very important things, but can be easily overlooked. You just think that everything has been done, or you may be surprised that when you get to the point where you need them, then you now remember that, oh, I kept it somewhere, somewhere, somewhere. So let there be a checklist. Before you leave the house, let there be a checklist. And also let there be plan B for every arrangement that you have made, so that there will not be any shock. And if there are any shock, there will be shock absorber. Let there be plan B. So for joining, that is about the date. So after joining, there are things that you should have been prepared for before joining. I would like to talk about them too, but I want my wife to weigh in on what I've said.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much. So, he has spoken a lot about the day, but I want to say that if you know yourself and you can afford it, and you know you can't take care of too many details, you can get a wedding planner engaged, or you can get like maybe a passionate friend, or somebody like support system. So like he said, I know there's a lot to talk about when it's about the wedding, before and after wedding, and yeah, he will also come in to talk more about after wedding. But I want to talk a little bit more about before wedding. So now I'm talking before the date. And like he said, at preparation, I believe that there are preparations to make. So I am looking at a situation where we are talking about usually in our culture back in Nigeria, especially, it's usually like 3 months, 4, 5 months to the wedding. Most of the time, people don't give dates that are further than that. So let's assume this is 5 months maximum to the time they're becoming husband and wife. One thing that is sure is it is now real that you want to get married and that you're getting married. So art preparation is number one. Now things have changed. Of course, during courtship, you are not living in the same place. Even in some cases, you might be living in different countries or different towns, and you have a lot of independence on your own. Now, when you're preparing for marriage, you should know that that is ending very soon. So, as a woman, I know that very soon I'm going to be responsible for somebody's breakfast, lunch, and probably. Or I will need to start thinking it's now different. It's different from when I come in, there's something in the fridge, I'll just munch on this and tomorrow life continues. Now, you can't do the same thing when you're a married woman. Even when we are trying to adjust roles and blend roles, in the African culture, roles are still much spread out these days. We can do a lot of things with education and women freedom and all of this. Roles are still there. Like, it is not the husband that will be saying, "What are we eating this morning?" Very likely you will be the one doing that thinking of what are we handing this morning. So there's need for her preparation. Then I want to also say that there is also important need, since we are talking as Christians, for prayer preparations. Now, your wedding day is not just about you, it's also about honoring your parents. So it is also an event for your parents. It's also a time for them to be rewarded that they raised a good child who is patient enough to wait for the day they get married properly. So whether you're a man or woman, whether we realize it or not, it's a day of honor for our parents. So many people are involved in this preparation. And one thing that is very important is that we call unto God to make everything work well. Because, like he said, there are too many things involved. Even when you have a wedding planner, there are so many things that, oh, we have to tell these people, we have to tell that people. Some people are just concerned about Ashwebi. What are we wearing? How are we wearing it? You will have a lot of conflicts. You want to go with one Ashwebi, your parents want to. There are just so many things that will start happening that will start causing conflicts. Like, oh, I think 10 one bridesmaid, 10 this and that is enough, and they're like, no more. Or some people want less. So there are so many things that are going to come into place. But with the help of God, calling unto God, God will help to balance a lot of things. Then there will also be financial pressures. Financial pressure in terms of, so now you need to spend more money, probably beyond what you even schedule to spend. So,
So let me weigh in on that while she attends to her baby. So, like what she was saying, there are many other preparation, be this and that, and all of those has to be looked into. Because if that is not, if proper decisions are not made, there could be surprises, there could be arguments between the so-called groom to be and the bride to be, because the family of A wants this, the family of B wants that. Some family may want, okay, let's have joint cooking. Some may say, oh, we don't want to have a joint cooking for the reception,
Exactly.
and different kind of. So there are a lot of things that you have to figure out before that day, so that there will not be drama on your day of event, on your special day. You don't want to have drama. Let everybody be able to come into agreement about what is necessary and what is not necessary. What can this family cope with and what this family may not be able to cope with. And let there be clear communication. Let there be openness. Don't let it be like, what about this? We take care of it, don't worry. We take care of it, don't worry. We take care of it. No, 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 no. Let there be, okay, we are going to take care of it. This is our plan. So let's, for example, for Christians, there is the money that is given to like honorarium to the officiating ministers. So if they are like, okay, who will take care of this, and the bride is saying, okay, I will take care, my family will take care of it. So at the end of the day, maybe the money that was supposed to be given to officiating minister, maybe the custom is, let's say, 100K that will be shared among the ministers, and the wife family is presenting 10,000. Then on that day, it will be like, what is this? What is happening? And things like, so let there be clear communication. This is what we have to do, and this is how we are going to do it. Don't let it be, I will take care of it. I will take care of it. There have been cases that you'll have seen some people that are left out, that maybe the bride is in church and the groom is coming on bike, on commercial bike, because they have thought that they will arrangement for a car and the car owner did not show up, and different things began to happen. Let there be solid plans so that there will not be disappointment. It's not too good when people are seated in church or in venue of the event. Let's say it's supposed to start 10 a.m. and by 11 the bride is not yet available or groom is not yet available. All those things have to be figured out. There have been situations where maybe the wedding is going to take place in Lagos. The husband is working in Ibadan and living in Lagos, and the husband will be planning that very early on Saturday morning, he and the groommen will be coming into town. All those kind of shady arrangements, all those things has to be taken care of, discussed a long time before that period, so that there will not be too much dramas.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. I think Stubborn was saying something before she was attending to the baby the other time. You can continue, ma.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed that a little bit, but I thought he completed it for me. So I was talking about financial preparations. Like there will be so many things. Like, if in the recent time, I think maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was just thinking about how we do weddings in Nigeria, especially, and how much we spend, and how things are escalating now. Even event venues are going for very high, millions of naira, and you're like, and people are still doing these weddings. But I want to say that you have to make those financial preparations, and it is not compulsory you spend as much as someone else is spending for their own wedding. Now, you need to look back and see and check, what can I afford? What can, like, I heard him talking about having clear plans. Those are very important, realistic plans, of how much are we going to spend. And most of the time, when you have a budget, if you have a budget of 1 million, just know that you are likely going to be spending about 1.5 million. So don't just go by, oh, this is what we said, because price, especially in Nigeria, prices of things can change overnight. A bag of rice that was sold for something when you are budgeting can become like more than double, about double the price by the time the wedding is happening. So there are so many things that will go into that. So having a good financial preparation is important. Then I also want to say that there will be lots of travels. That is when the reverend of the bride's church is saying, come for this meeting. That is when somebody is saying, come for rehearsals. That is when you even know that you are getting married in the church. Does not mean you not go to the registry for one document or the other. So there will be lots of travels involved. And said, sometimes the place of work may not give that much room. So there should be preparations for that. Like I've seen it happen in so many cases that people have their wedding gowns ready, but like a week to the wedding, they have to adjust the wedding gown because the bride has lost so much weight because of up and down and so many things involved. So there's need to have such preparations. And when you know when you know that these things are going to happen and you are ready, there are several things you can boycott or plan ahead of time. Like if you are going to be traveling across cities, you should make sure that each time you go, you achieve a lot, so that it won't be, so that instead of traveling 10 times, you can cut it to like 2 or 3 times. So having such preparations are very, very helpful. And I will also say, like, I cannot overemphasize the place of prayer, but I will also say that the place of wise counsel. listen to people. In wise counsel comes delegation. There are so many things you don't need to do by yourself. People may want to put the pressure on you that you have to see it, you have to be there, you have to know. But it is not everything that cannot happen without you being there. There are so many things. You giggled.
Yeah, like the groom man wanting to go and see how they will kill the cow that will be used.
He would
All those
like, why should that be an issue? Like, even in the place of bridal train, you can delegate. People who are doing the bridal train arrangement and things, you don't need to put everything on your own head. There is need for wise counsel, consulting people. Like, you'll be doing taking bridal things and stuff like that. You don't need to get it, you don't need to see it. You just need to get trusted people that will do all of those things for
Yeah.
you. And by the time you're able to pull that together, you see the bride smiling, the groom smiling, because they are just, rest assured, things are taken care of, in all the pressures in the world on themselves. Of course, people will want to push you to do it, like, has she seen it? Like, but it is not everything you have to see. It is not everything you have to handle by yourself and be the direct person in charge. So let me just cut it down here and see if questions are going to make us talk a lot about other
Wow.
things.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much, sir and Mara. These are little things that our couples to be don't really pay attention to, like the issue of delegating. Oh, I want to see the bride, the maid's dresses. I want to see the suits. I want to see everything. They just want to see everything. And at the end, at the long run, the ones they're supposed to put attention to, they miss it. Yes, thank you so much for that, sir and Ma. That's, I think that's a part of the preparation. I would like us to look at this other side of the preparations, like the oversights. I things like things that couple to forget. They don't really put attention to discussing during the courtship period. Sometimes they feel, oh, when we get into the marriage, we'll overcome it. It's not going to be an issue. Like those little things. Oh, I never thought, I never thought of it. Maybe the first week, the second week, the third into the marriage, and then the shocks, the surprises, the both from the
Yeah.
husband and the wife, and they're like seriously, why did we just forget to discuss things before before the joining? Those little oversights from the side of the man and from the side of the woman, things that couples easily overlook, that they don't discuss about, they don't talk about. Not because they don't want to talk about it, but one way or the other, they feel they don't really need to talk about it. One way or the other, they forget to discuss it. This little oversight that they need to talk about before walking down the house, before the joining.
Okay. Let me start on that. I will mention two or three things. Number one thing I would like to mention is the issue of money. How capital is being planned in the family. So many people don't talk about it, and it's very, very important. It's expected that people that are married are financially matured. They are able to handle money. They are able to know how to earn money and how to manage money. But there have been situations where, like I said the other time, there is no solution, there is no cup that fits all. Every one of us are raised from different background, and there are situations around us. There are situations around us may not actually fit into the situation of the other person. So it's important for couples to be to discuss how do they want to handle financial related matters. Are they going to be keeping a joint accounting? Are they going to be keeping a joint account? Those are two different things. They may
Yes.
they may have the same account that all the money the husband, the money the wife makes are going into the same account. They may have different bank accounts, but they may be accounting together. How much should we spend on this? How much should we spend on that? How much of my money? How much of the money you earn? How much of the money I earn? Usually, normally, when you marry, your materials, your resources should be joined to raise a family. But because of different backgrounds and different experiences and what people have heard and what they have seen, other people may feel like, okay, that is not going to work for us. What will work for us is, okay, you make some money, I make some money, then let's have percentages that will be going into family expenses. And let's have percentages that I can say this is what I'm controlling. Some other families may have their own arranged in such a way that, okay, let all the money be coming together, and the husband, as the head of the house, decide how the money is going to be spent. And some other families may have their own way that, okay, let the money come together and let us both decide on how the money is going to be spent. So the issue of money is very, very important. What is the stand of the husband in terms of money? What is the stand of the wife in terms of money? You have to discuss it and you have to agree. And sometimes you may need to even reach out to other people that are elderly to guide you, to counsel you, even parents on how you should handle it. There have been situations where a wife is coming from a family where the father had cheated before, and the mother does not want to have anything to do with the man in terms of money. And the husband is coming from a family where they don't have such issues, and the father is in charge of money. So children, people that are raised in different homes may have different view and different idea about how all of these are going to be handled. But the point, the main thing is the way to work out for both of you. You have to discuss it. So one thing I want to say is, even when you get into marital relationship, some things may change. You don't have to be rigid about what you have planned. You may be very flexible if that flexibility will bring about peace. It's not as if we have said it and it cannot change. It's not like that. We have to agree together, reason together, okay, this is what we have planned. But I discovered that this is causing more friction among us. Can we look at another way? How do we handle this? So the issue of money is very important. The issue of how you want to relate with the siblings, how you want to relate with the parents on both sides is very important. It's not a good thing that two people are married and the wife is sending money to her parents and the husband cannot send money to his own parents. That is not fair. That is not even right. No matter the, maybe you can say one family is richer than the other or something of that nature. Both of you should agree on, okay, how do we take care of our parents? If we need to extend love to them, how do we show it? If we need to send gift to them, how do we show it? Siblings, siblings responsibility is also there. Some people may be that, let's say the husband is coming from a family where he's the last born and the wife is coming from a family where she is the firstborn. So are you saying that the wife should just marry and look away from the family's responsibility of trying to see if she can help her younger ones? All of these things has to be discussed. All of these things has to be put in proper perspective so that when the needs begin to arise, you know how to face it. Okay, we don't have much now, but can we part with this? Okay, we cannot do this now, but can we tell them that later in the future we can step into it? So there will be family relationship, there will be family demands, family responsibility, and things like that. That is one side. Then there is a part of the parenting, talking about the children. Do you like many children? Some men may say, oh, I want 8 children. And some wives will be like, I'm okay with 2. So the issue is you need to talk about it. You need to talk about, okay, let's agree on, okay, let's plan for 3, let's plan for 4, let's plan for 5 or something. You need to know where everybody stands in terms of parenting, raising children. And you need to also discuss, what about if there is a delay? If pregnancy is not coming on time, which could be as some problems in the man or some problems in the woman, can we prepare our heart for such things? What approach are we going to use? Prayer, waiting, medical, or different kind of things? Such discussion need to be had before the joining. Let me allow my wife to also add some other.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. Thank you. It's very funny, but those are actually things that should be talked about, because if you have different preferences for the kind of family you want, if somebody wants a large family and the other wants small family, then it becomes an issue in the future. I want to also add that since this is marriage, like you've already concluded you're getting married to one another, then um, there should be preparation for joining. The Bible says that they will no more be two, they become one. So everything should be talked about, really. Like, how do you become one? What does one mean in our finances? What does one mean in our choice of home? So for it's common that most of the time, especially in our background in Nigeria, that it's usually the woman moving to where the husband is, but in some cases, the husband might be moving to where the wife is, or they remain in the same city because they've been living in the same city. But then, if the husband um, was living in a place that is so far for the wife, or so, those are discussions to have. Oh, where are we settling down? And all of those changes have to be made, and equipping the home as well. Who is responsible for what? Like, you, it is not after you get married that you realize, oh, we actually don't have this or that and stuff like that. So there is need to converse around that. And something else that came to my mind, which of course we don't usually talk about it, I'm not even sure we discussed it before we got married, but it's becoming common now, that like the issue of sharing rooms. Like, different people are having different opinions now, like continuing in separate rooms. And like my husband said, I believe that a lot of this can be an offshoot from the family or background that we are coming from. So, like in my own case, my mom has a room, my dad has his own room, but in your own case, both parents sleep in the same room. Though I think, from the biblical perspective, we believed in using the same room, so it didn't even become an issue. But it may become an issue if, yes, if I decide that no, I want to have my own room because my mom has her own room in our house, and I believe that is how I should have it. So I believe that such conversations should be held. Such conversations should be heard. And from something that my husband has said, a little thing I want to put about it: imagine parental sibling care with money.
Mm, that's
There
true.
should be conversation around it, like spending for our immediate family members. How do we want to go about it? um I bet you it can become a real issue, because we each are passionate about the families that we are from, and it's possible that you are only more concerned about your immediate family than your spouse's family, which has now become your family by law. But sometimes, if one is not well prepared, it might take a while for the real blending of seeing my husband's mom as my mom. It might take some time for some people to have that blend, but that is the biblical perspective. Like, after marriage, she has become my mom, his dad has become my dad, his siblings have become my siblings. So we need to have talk around that so that it doesn't become a conflict. I remember there's something my brother-in-law sent to me sometimes ago. It's a short video of a couple. The husband ran inside, and the husband is like, ah, we have to go now, we have to go now. They say mommy is not feeling fine. And the wife is like, mommy is not feeling fine again. He said, yes, they said she's not feeling fine and that she's in the hospital. In fact, I think they need money. The wife is just like, let us not go. We can get some drugs now, that kind of a thing. So the husband is like, are you sure? Are you sure that that is going to be fine? She's like, yes. So the husband said, okay. Then a few weeks later, they called that her mom died. Now, from that short video, the obvious thing that happened was the wife thought it was the husband's mom
Hmm.
that was sick, not
Hmm.
knowing that it's her own mom that was sick. And they
Hmm.
didn't give as much as she would have expected. And she
Hmm.
was like, why didn't you tell me it's my own mother? And she's
Hmm.
like, the husband was like, I told you, they said mommy is sick. So is she
Hmm.
not my mommy? And that kind of a thing. So
Hmm.
those are things to really have talks around. And the thing is, we can come from very different families. Like
Mm.
in my own family, maybe we have a lot of broken people. Somebody is drinking, somebody is not serious, or things like that. And in my husband's family, they might be more settled. Now, that does not mean that attention should not be given. There should be talk about how that is going to be handled as Christians. Like, how do we give? How do we handle matters that relate to our siblings and stuff like that? And I pray that God's wisdom will continue to guide us. But it's important that those talks come. And when there are surprises, he used a word before. There might be shocking things, but there should be shock absorber. And it is God that helps us with that. So I
Yeah.
believe we'll get to that conversation. So let me
And I
just
also want to add to something because social media is becoming popular, and the kind of mobile phone we use now, mobile phone is becoming like a personal assistant, and everything about everybody's life is getting to be on the mobile phones that they are using. There has to be discussion about the kind of freedom individual has. Are we talking about getting married and you be keeping secrets? Are there things that you will not want me to see? There have been situations, there have been funny videos around on social media when the phone of one man rang and he ran out of bathroom with soap on his body because he didn't want the wife to pick the call. And all of those things are
he obviously has a bad secret.
exactly. So all of those things has to be
Oh my
discussed.
God.
Are there some things that I need to know before we get into this journey? Not that we join and to be like, I remember I did not remember to tell you this. What kind of thing is that? Speak out anything that has to be shared. There have been cases of on the wedding night when the husband will quickly run into the bathroom or the wife will run into the toilet to go and receive calls. What
Hmm.
kind of thing is that? What kind of call do you want to receive that you don't want your spouse to hear? All
Hmm.
of these things has to be discussed. Openness,
Hmm.
openness in marriage. Discuss how open your marriage has to be.
Hmm.
Discuss there are some boundaries that you need to keep. If you have some baggages in time past, what level of boundaries are we setting? Who are the people that we want to visit? Who are the people that we want to visit us? All of those things are very, very important.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Sir. I'm really very sorry about the issue of the camera. We are having a technical issue at my hand here, but I think can you hear me very well, Sir?
Yes, we can hear you very, very well.
All right, thank you
Can hear
very
you
much, sir.
clearly.
So, still talking on the the issue of oversight. I think we'll still it's a discussion that will continue during our next conversation. But before we bring it to a close today, the issue of job is also one thing. I think is also one of those things that causes misunderstanding between young
Yeah.
couples. For example, the
Yeah.
husband is working and then the wife is not working, and then the issue of, oh, am I going to be the only one bringing money into this house? Stuff like that. Or probably it's the
Yeah.
wife that is working and the husband is not working. So these
Yeah.
little things that people tend to overlook, they don't really get to discuss before
Mm.
walking down the aisles together. Yeah, like I think we've
Yeah.
we've cited lots of examples today, but I think there are still a lot more.
Yeah.
There are still a
So,
lot more that we'll get to talk about maybe in the next conversation. So,
okay.
Asa and Ma, before we bring it to a close today, I would like to have our take home.
So,
What will be
actually,
your words
you brought
for
something up.
our sir?
You brought something up about the job issue. Do you want us to discuss it or to
Okay,
let
yes,
it go
we
for
it's okay. We have a little more time
a
to
few
talk
minutes
about
more?
it.
Okay. So, let me quickly weigh in on that. I
All
think
right,
the
sir.
problem we are having is people wanting to get married but are not actually prepared, or they don't even have the full knowledge of what marriage is all about. Marriage is about two people coming together to make their lives one and to build one another up to raise a family. So, regardless of the source where the income is coming from, it is still a home, it's still a family, it's still a marriage.
Mm.
But if you are talking about she wanting to build an empire for herself, I want to build an empire for myself, then there is a division already.
Mm.
So we are chasing different goals.
Mm.
So sometimes we underrate what the other partner is doing or what the other partner is contributing to a family. Family is beyond money. For example, and especially when kids are coming into the family, the issue of cooking, the issue of raising kids, the issue of going to take care of kids, bathing for kids, washing clothes, and all of those things, we somehow underrate it and feel that somebody that is doing that is not doing anything. So it's very, very important to know that whatsoever is being done in the family is for the family, to raise the family. Let's assume we have a situation where the husband is going to office, coming back at 5 p.m., and the husband is the one that will start cooking what the whole family will eat. And it's the husband that he starts before he goes back to the office, the following morning is the one that will wake up the kid, dress for them, take care of them, and things like that. Then there is a serious imbalance, and that is not going to be fine. So it's always very important that there should be division of labors. These are the things that you will be doing, and I'll be supporting you. If you are the one that is making more money now, or if you are the one that is working, then we'll be bringing the resources together and be using it to support whatever we are doing as families. And if I'm the one that is bringing more money, it's not a problem. We'll still be using the whole money for the family. So there has to be such agreement. There'll be situation that it will be like, oh, you don't need to work. Please be at home, face this thing so that we can settle and balance. Let me go and be getting the money. Whatsoever I'm getting, let us manage it until we are able to settle things. When you can also begin to work, or let's have it that way. There have been a lot of families that have raised children in such a way that the mother is just at home, homeschooling the children, and some will not even homeschool, but they will prepare for taking care of the children, assignments, homeworks, and things like that. And the family had been fine. And there have been some situation where the husband is working, the wife is working, and they have different arrangement for their kids, and they did well. So it's more about understanding, not saying that, because there have been situations where in our own family, I told my wife, go and resign your job. I need you to take care of the kids, and I need you to have advanced degree. And she agreed, and she resigned. And we never had any single complaint about, oh, we don't have enough money. Oh, something is going wrong. No. And we have been at a place where both of us are working, and we are figuring out how to take care of the family, and things are working for us. There have been situations where I was earning more than she was earning. There have been situations where she was earning more than I'm earning. So all those things comes into play. As long as we are working together as family, we are not likely to have the problem of you are doing this job, I'm doing that job, I'm bringing more money, you are bringing lesser money, and things like that. So it has to be discussed, and you have to learn from others' examples and lives.
Mm. Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Ma, do you have anything to talk to say about it?
Well, I think that most of the time, when issues come on, you are working, you are not making enough money. I think it's more common when the woman is an homemaker than when the husband. Like most husbands don't even want to be homemakers, but in some rare cases there are. But the thing is, sometimes when we don't monetize situations, we don't know how expensive it is. Like,
Mm.
if I'm an homemaker and my husband is feeling that I'm not bringing more money, we should just monetize everything. Like, have a daycare that takes the child from 6 a.m. to maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. We buy every food we are eating. In fact, just those two, or we give all our clothes to washman,
Yeah.
so I'm not doing any laundry. By the time you put all of those things together, I bet in most cases the husband will be like, don't work, just continue the homemaking thing, because that is when we realize it's a lot of things. And anytime that
Mm.
I speak with women who are homemakers, and I'm always like, um, it is not an easy place to be. It's easy to think, oh, she's at home from morning till evening, but it is
She's not
actually
doing
not an easy
anything.
place to be. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Like, you have no excuse for your home not to be neat. You have no excuse to have clothes that are not washed. You have no excuse to have not cooked food, and so many other pressures like that. So it's a lot. But like he said, husband and wife, we are working together. We have this family. Not that I'm building my own and he's building his own. So
Mm,
I think both couples need to come to the understanding of the fact that if you work, I am the one working. If I stay at home, you are the one at home. By the time we look at it from that perspective, then it's easier for us to know this is what is coming to our table, and this is how we spend it.
wow. 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 That's amazing. Thank you very much, Sai and Ma, for another opportunity to have you with us on the platform today. So, before we bring it to a close, just a summary and your word of advice for people who are almost at a point of saying I do. Just a brief summary.
So, for brief summary that I'll be coming up with is trust. Go into the marriage with faith and trust, knowing fully well that there is no going back. Have a made up mind that no matter what I meet in this new joining in this home, I'm going to work hard to fix it. Whether by prayer and fasting, I'm trusting my spouse, I'm trusting my God that all shall be well. And I'm going to use faith to make sure that I fix it. If I need to change, if I need to make some changes on my own life, or to need to pray for some changes in another person's life, I need to be ready to go through it and make it work.
Mm.
And very similar to what you have said, simply, I would say, do not be anxious for anything. Don't entertain anxiety, whether about the wedding date, whether about all that you need. Don't be anxious for anything. Whatever God has given you is perfect. Like, just enjoy it. Enjoy the preparation period. Don't put yourself under any pressure at all. Just put everything in the hands of God. Some people might be wearing a wedding gown that costs 500,000. My 50,000 wedding gown is my gown. I don't, that may be theirs, but I'm fine in my gown. And as they always say, every bride is beautiful on their wedding day. Like,
Exactly.
no matter how less you spend, every bride is beautiful. Once people have eaten, if takeaway did not work, don't kill yourself. Don't be anxious for anything. Don't look at giving out the best gifts in the world. Like, people will say, what are the souvenir? You have, like, worry less. Just put yourself to just fix your eyes on the most important things, and that's all. So don't be anxious. Just be at peace, be at rest, enjoy the time. Don't lose all your weight because you want to get married.
Wow, 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 wow. Another wonderful session today. A big thanks to our guest today, Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Bolaji. Really appreciate the privilege we have to be able to assess you and to for you to be able to share with us from your wealth of knowledge, the practical examples. Really appreciate everything, your time. Thank you very much, Sai and Ma. And we pray that the Lord will continue to bless your home and keep all that pertains to you in Jesus' name. To all our viewers out there, here is the point we'll be bringing today's conversation to a close. It's still Jinsei Matters. Wait, right? So we'll come your way again. That'll be in 2 weeks' time when we'll be continuing our conversation on this marriage series. Until then, keep watching Jinsei Matters. Wait, Roy. Stay safe. Be good. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.